Good morning to all the students. Welcome back again. In the previous video, we had done revision of chapter 10, that is cell and cell organelles. In that, I had given you all 15 questions to solve. I hope you all have done it. Today, we'll do the revision of chapter 11, that is human body and organ systems. After revision also, I'll give you all few questions to solve. Copy down the questions, get the answer, and then when I'll be sending you all the solutions, then you can check whether your answers are correct or no. So let's begin with the revision. So open your textbook to page number 75 and we'll begin with our revision, human body and organ system. In this chapter, in the beginning, we had studied about the different life processes that takes place inside our body, like digestion, respiration, circulation, nervous coordination, etc. After that, we had studied about the different types of respiration that takes place in the body. How many types of respiration we had studied? Any guesses? There were 3 types of respiration, in that the first one was external respiration. Now, under external respiration, there were 2 types. First one, inspiration or inhalation. Second one, expiration or exhalation. Now, in inspiration or inhalation, the air is taken inside through the nose and then it is sent towards the lungs through the trachea, that is your windpipe. In expiration or exhalation, the oxygen goes inside your blood. That blood carries the carbon dioxide gas from the various parts of the body and it brings towards the lungs. So this process is called as exhalation. Second type of respiration was internal respiration. In this, exchange of gases between the cells and the tissue fluid takes place. Third type, cellular respiration. Now in cellular respiration, it can be summarized, that means the entire process of cellular respiration can be summarized in one equation. I hope you all remember that equation. C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O plus energy, that is 38 ATP. C6H12O6, that is glucose. It reacts with oxygen inside your body. So when this reaction takes place, what is given out is carbon dioxide gas along with water, and then energy is released in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. So this is in short about the cellular respiration. Next, we had studied about the respiratory system, its structure and function. Do you remember which organs were involved in the process of respiration? The first organ, that is the process of respiration, begins with nose. Now, what is the function of nose? The air which enters through the nose, it is filtered with the help of hair which is present and the mucus inside your nose. Second, pharynx. The food pipe and the windpipe, they begins, or you can say they originate from the pharynx. Third, windpipe. It is little bit swollen in the beginning because of the presence of the sound box. One branch enters the right lung and the other branch of it enters the left side of the lung. Fourth organ is the lungs. There are 2 lungs which are present on either sides of the heart in the thoracic cavity. The maximum area in the thoracic cavity is occupied by the lungs. There is a membrane which is present around the lungs which is called as pleura, and it is a double layered membrane. Then there are different exchange of gases inside the lungs that takes place. And the last organ that is involved in the process of respiration is the diaphragm. It is a muscular partition which is present at the base of the thoracic cavity. It is present in between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. That means just above the abdominal cavity. So when air moves in through the nose, it reaches the lungs. At that time, there is contraction and relaxation that takes place in the diaphragm, and this results in the process of breathing. This was the diagram for respiratory system. I hope you all have drawn it in your notes. Starting with the nasal cavity and the last one, diaphragm. This is a windpipe or the trachea. It bifurcates into two parts. Each part enters each of the lung on the left side and the right side. Then this trachea, it further divides into bronchioles and then to alveoli. Alveoli is a sac-like structure in which the exchange of gases takes place. The next system that we had studied was the blood circulatory system. Now, what is blood circulatory system? This system performs the function of transport of different substances like water, hormones, oxygen through different organs. So, transportation of all these substances takes place with the help of circulatory system. It is present in humans as well as in the higher animals. So, circulatory system is present in most of the animals. Blood circulatory system consists of the blood, that is heart, blood vessels and capillaries. Now in the respiratory system we had seen the organs like nose, lungs, trachea, etc. Same way when we talk about the blood circulatory system, the parts that are included are heart, blood vessels and capillaries. Which are the blood vessels? Arteries and veins. Next, the process of pumping the blood towards various parts of the body and then bringing it back towards the heart is called as blood circulation. So the main function of heart is to pump the blood, and that blood is transported to different organs of the body, and then from the different organs of the body, that blood is brought back to the heart, and this entire process is called as blood circulatory system. And this is the diagram for the structure of heart. And I had explained you all how the circulation takes place with the help of diagram. I hope you remember everything. Now this is the diagram for the structure of arteries and veins, and this is for the capillaries. This is just to show the structure of arteries and veins. This is the artery and this is the vein. Veins have valves, so you can see over here. The inner part is called as the intima on both the sides, that is of arteries and veins. The tissue which is present over here is called the connective tissue, and this is a layer of muscle. In this diagram of capillaries, you can see here it is written from the heart and over here towards the heart. So that means the blood that is pumped in the heart, it is brought to different parts of the body with the help of arteries, and then that deoxygenated blood is then taken back to the heart with the help of veins. When the arteries and the veins reduce in their diameters, they form capillaries. So you can see over here. After that, we had seen the characteristics of blood. It is red in color and it is a fluid. That means it flows. It is a fluid connective tissue. The oxygenated blood is deep red colored. It is salty in taste and the pH of blood is 7.4. So you have to remember the value. pH of blood is 7.4. Blood is mainly composed of two components. Which are those two components? Do you remember? Yes, it is plasma and the blood cells. I hope you remember this table. Plasma is yellowish in color. It is an alkaline fluid. It consists of 90 to 92% of water, then some proteins, inorganic salts and some other components. There is albumin, globulins, fibrinogen and inorganic ions which are present in plasma. When we talk about blood cells, there are RBCs, WBCs and platelets. The functions, the number, everything is there in this table. So you can refer this table and study it. Then we had seen the different functions of blood. 8 functions were given. First one, transport of gases, transport of nutrients, transport of waste materials, transport of enzymes and hormones that takes place, thermoregulation, maintaining the balance of minerals, and if there is any injury, then the blood clotting process takes place with the help of platelets that are present in the blood. So total 8 functions we had studied. You have to remember them. Then we had studied about the human blood groups. There were 4 blood groups, A, B, AB and O. In that also there were 2 types, Rh negative and Rh positive. So total there were 8 blood groups which were formed. That is A, Rh positive, A, Rh negative. Same way B, Rh positive, Rh negative and so on. So total 8 blood groups. What was blood donation? If there was any accident or any person was in need of blood because of any disease, then the other person would donate his blood and then it was given to the person in need. Blood transfusion is carried out to compensate the blood shortage in the body. This is called as blood transfusion. So one person donates the blood and then that blood is given to the person in need. So in this way the blood transfusion takes place. What you need to remember in this is when the blood transfusion is taking place or if it is to be done, important thing is to screen the blood or to check the blood. If that person who has donated the blood, if he is suffering from any diseases, then there are chances that the other person might get those diseases. So even if any person donates the blood or gives the blood, it is very important to check it before giving it to some other person. Blood banks. Now blood banks is a place where the blood is stored. So if any person is in need or any other hospital is in need of blood, then they can contact those blood banks and get the blood. Who is a blood donor? The person who donates the blood is called as a blood donor. Who is a blood recipient? The person who receives the blood is called as blood recipient. The person who has the blood group O, he can donate the blood or he can give the blood to any person with any blood group. So that is why a person with blood group O is called as universal donor. Whereas the person who has the blood group AB can receive the blood from any other person and that is why he is called as universal recipient. The next thing that we had studied was blood pressure. Blood continuously keep flowing through the blood vessels because of the contraction and the relaxation of the heart. Because of the contraction of the heart, the pressure is created on the walls of the arteries, and that is called as blood pressure. The blood which is pumped in the heart, it is transported to different parts of the body with the help of arteries. So when that blood is pumped, contractions and relaxations takes place in the heart. So when that contraction takes place, there is pressure which is created on the walls of the arteries, and that is called as blood pressure. The pressure recorded during the contraction of heart is called as systolic pressure, and the pressure that is recorded during relaxation of the heart is called as diastolic pressure. Contraction of heart, systolic pressure. Relaxation is called as diastolic pressure. The blood pressure of a healthy person is about 120 to 80 millimeter to 139 to 89 millimeter of mercury. Hg is mercury. So this is a normal blood pressure of a person. Blood pressure is measured with the help of instrument which is known as sphygmomanometer. This is a diagram. Nowadays there are different instruments which are used to measure the blood pressure. So I hope you all have understood this entire topic. Now these are the few questions which you all have to write. The questions of chapter number 10 which I had given for revision. I hope you all have received it in your assignment section. So copy down the questions. You can pause the video, write the questions and the answer to it. I'll be sending these questions again in the assignment section also. So you can take it down from there. And later on when the answers are sent, you can check your answers. So first one. The process of respiration begins with dash. A. Mouth. B. Nose. C. Lungs. Or D. Bronchioles. Second, a muscular partition that is present at the base of thoracic cage is called dash. Pharynx, heart, lungs or diaphragm. Third, dash system performs the function of transport of various substances like water, hormones, oxygen, etc. Which system does this function? Circulatory system, respiratory system, nervous system or digestive system. So whichever is correct, you have to fill in the blank. Dash is made up of involuntary cardiac muscles. Hands, heart, legs or all of the above. Involuntary cardiac muscles. Fifth one. Blood vessels which carry the blood away from the heart are called as arteries. Is it true or false? You just have to write it that much only. True or false? Sixth one. In case of a healthy person, there are 74 beats of heart per minute. Again, whether it is true or false. Seventh. Heart pumps about dash milliliters of blood during each beat. 70, 72, 74 or 75. Eighth one. The pH of blood is dash. 6.4, 9.5, 7.4 or 8. Ninth one. Complete the analogy. Complete the analogy can also be called as find the correlation. So both the questions means the same thing. Distributes the water all over the body. Who does this function? Albumin. So which is that thing which helps in the blood clotting process? that you have to write. Is it fibrinogen or is it globulins? Albumin helps in distributing the water all over the body. So which of the option, that is fibrinogen or globulins, helps in the blood clotting process? So whichever is the correct option from A and B, that you have to write. Last one, that is 10th one. A person of blood group O is called as universal recipient. State whether true or false. So you will be only writing true or false. So I hope you all have understood all the 10 questions. Write down each and every question along with the answer. If you all have any doubts, you can send it or we can discuss it during the live class. In the next video, we'll continue with the revision of the next chapter. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.